right, so yeah, we're very fortunate to have two guest speakers today. And so kicking off are, and both of them actually, the subject matter, I think you will find, ties along very well with each other. Our first guest speaker today is a recent high school graduate who dove headfirst into the world of secular activism. She's here today to share the circumstances that she found herself in during her senior year of public high school, and how she courageously responded and took a stand for constitutional rights. Please welcome our first guest speaker today, Sara Elizabeth Sheppard.
Hello. My name is Sara Sheppard. I'm a recent graduate from Katy High School. I've been active in the atheist movement for about a year. I spent 3 to 4 years in the church. I did Sunday church, Wednesday youth group, and mission trips. Therefore, leaving the church was pretty difficult. Plus, I'm really outspoken on Facebook, so I lost a lot of my friends. But I found the Houston Atheist on Meetup, and I later heard of Humanists in Houston, and I heard of Houston Oasis when it first started. I found these groups when I was around 17, and now I'm 19, just getting involved. So for a few years, I was a fangirl behind the computer screen. Today, I'm here to tell you about the summer before my senior year in economics class. I had a teacher who was really awesome, exciting, and fun, and we all thought he was a good sort of crazy. But it turned out he was a bad sort of crazy. He started to talk about religion in an inappropriate manner. I was scared to report it, but I knew I had to do something. So I recorded his lectures with my phone, and I sent in the recordings to Freedom from Religion Foundation. I was in communication with Stephanie Smith, the staff attorney, and Benjamin Zipp, the intern at the time. They sent a wonderful letter to the superintendent of Katy ISD. They got a quick reply which said something along the lines of, "Thank you for bringing this matter to our attention. We have conducted a thorough investigation and have taken appropriate action." I believe he was warned, but he still taught the next semester because I had a friend who had him the next semester, and he was telling her that I took away his right to talk about Jesus. So Kurt, the organizer of Houston Atheists, mentioned the Freedom from Religion Foundation scholarship to me when I once asked about atheist scholarships. I decided to give it a try. The topic was to write about a time you took a stand for free thought and or felt proud to be an atheist. I was at work one day and I received an email that said Freedom from Religion Foundation scholarship. Turned out I won 4th place and got a $500 scholarship. Enough for 2 college textbooks. Which it all So today I'm going to read you guys my essay. Price, policies, procedures, profit, productive resources, and property rights are topics of economics, not prayer. Sitting quietly at my desk, listening to anything but economics, I questioned my future role in the atheist movement. My heart was pounding and I felt my hands starting to sweat. To speak up or not to speak up, that was the question. Did I want to speak up for atheism while suffering judgment, or keep my thoughts quiet and move on with my life? My brain was conflicted while my voice ruptured through resistance. All of a sudden I heard, "How can you compare atheism to smoking? Do you not know that crosses the line of what to say in a public school classroom?" Finally someone stood up and the realization hit me, that someone was me. Growing up, I always would hide behind my parents when meeting someone new. I was the shy and timid little girl who had the face of fright during elementary school plays and never wanted the leading role. I was a young student who never spoke up if I felt like something was incorrect because I feared the idea of being outcasted. I never saw myself as an activist because I felt as though I contained a quiet voice, a voice that would drown in the sea of loud and outgoing people. But one day that was tested in my summer economics class. Upon entering the high school classroom during the summer of 2012, everyone, including me, was excited about the teacher, and he was excited to see us. His personality was sociable and friendly, and he obviously had spirit for passing on his knowledge, like many teachers had. As the semester went by, I realized that his passion for passing on his knowledge was not focused on economics, but was focused on religion, prayer, and spirituality. Instead of teaching economics, he would teach us that certain historical people were among the greatest because of their spiritual enlightenment. He also expressed to his students that it was human nature to have a spiritual and religious component, therefore making atheists unnatural and against human nature. This teacher went so far with this idea to even compare atheism to smoking, and how the body originally rejects smoking, just like the mind rejects the concept of atheism. This was the first time he said the word atheism in the classroom, and it was the breaking point for me. At that moment, my voice felt so powerful and unstoppable, even though my brain was demanding to silence the neuron signals going towards my voice. After questioning his capability of saying those statements in a public school classroom, he shrugged it off with no reasonable reply. Still, he would not stop. On the board the next week, he drew arrows pointing up like a mountain while describing the positive effect prayer does to the state of mind. I knew something had to be done, but I had no idea where to start. Still, I was new to the atheism movement and only came out recently in the preceding November. Because of his loud personality, I was scared to speak up again. Plus, I felt like I was alone, but everyone else agreed with him. Even though I felt alone in the classroom, I knew I had the help of the online community group I call family. That night, I posted in the Houston Atheist Facebook group my situation and my thoughts were reaffirmed. That action had to take place. I was directed to the Freedom from Religion Foundation, where I was able to get help from staff attorney Stephanie Smith. After various email exchanges, Stephanie wrote a wonderful letter to the superintendent of my school district, which I actually have right here, so in case anyone wants to see it. I had a few friends in the same class that were angry with me and said I destroyed his freedom to religion, but in reality his actions were unconstitutional and were not related to economics at all. This was economics class, not Sunday school. From this event, I learned that even though I grew up with a shy personality, I can still have a passionate and assertive voice that fights for what is constitutional. So that's it for my essay. That I recorded of him again, and it makes me really mad to hear what he says. So I'm going to read some of the things he said to you guys. Do you know the Catholic Church has a whole level of priests that have been completely educated in the area of exorcism? Every day on this planet they go and parallel exercise, and then the movie Exorcism is factually based on a case study of a young boy who has a devil. Do you believe in the devil? The power. So you believe you can be possessed. If there is a devil and you can have your mind and heart and soul possessed by that power, what are the things you'd be doing to allow that to come in? How about checking out certain movies? How about drugs and alcohol? And how about crazy rebellion against your mom and dad? What are one of the greatest commandments of the good book? Honor thy father and mother so that your days be long. You will die early, and you will get respect back from your kids for what you did for your mother and father. And then he started to speak on about how every religion speaks the same about honoring your parents. And then here's the second quote I have. And if you dedicate like Mother Teresa did, then maybe you will go to heaven. Because you know mentally right now as young people that you can't sit here and tell me with absolute certainty that you live and die and that's it. Because there's something down there, something. Even if you're not a dedicated Christian or a Muslim. There's something right there that's saying, it can't be that simple, that depressing. You were just born to live and die, that's it. There's no heaven afterwards, you're just gone. You won't ever see your mother or father again. You won't be with any friends or loved ones you knew. You were just born flesh, and then you die and rot. That's really a comfortable philosophy. You can accept that and say, oh wow, I feel good about myself. And this is when I awkwardly speak up and say, well, yeah, because you can make a change in the world. But he continues with, my point is though, it's not natural for a human being to adopt what we call nihilism. And then he talks about nihilism, which he describes as, out of nothing comes nothing, there was nothing, you will go back to nothing. You live and die, that's it. There's no God, there's no life, there's nothing. And then he goes on to about how many philosophy and biblical classes he took. Yeah. And then the last quote I have here is, even if you don't believe in God or anything, you have to believe in some sort of meditated essence that pushes you to believe. In order to be an atheist, in order to believe, you have to get stubborn. I don't believe it. And make yourself not believe it. That's like learning to smoke. And then he started saying how the body is anti-smoking, therefore atheism is against human nature. And then he started talking about how much money you waste from smoking cigarettes. And then he started talking about the magical properties of water. So that's all I got for that. I learned a lot from this event. I learned that teachers in your own community could be speaking the same message, or even worse. Never did I think it would happen in my own class. Well, I am from Katy, Texas, where the religion is Jesus and football. Therefore, it is important for the student atheists and secular humanists to take stand when something isn't right in the classroom. The separation of church and state is very important. Not only is it important to take a political stand, but it is important to be a good example to the community. A friend once told me that I allowed her to be open-minded about non-religious people and their lifestyle. This friend is an active member at Second Baptist Church and is pretty religious. You know you are doing something right when you not only have an impact on the atheist movement, but when you also have a positive impact on the religious people's opinions of atheists and humanists. Thank you everyone for listening to my speech.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I think we have just a few minutes for quick questions. If you could please keep them brief, though, because we don't have time to.
Do you have your parents' support in this?
I knew that was going to be asked. They're, I don't know, sort of, like, they're kind of uncomfortable about me going to these meetings sometimes for my safety. The other day, they told me that 90% of the world's religious and that I need to watch out when it comes to jobs. But I just got a job as a pharmacy technician, so that's not really a problem yet. So yeah, they're all right with it.
Are you continuing your education beyond high school?
Yes, I'm going to Lone Star Community College to get my basics, and then I'll probably transfer to U of H or Sam Houston.
During your speech, you said you had come out as an atheist prior to that class. You were still in high school. How was that coming out as an atheist during high school to your friends?
It was kind of hard. I mean, I had a lot of accepting friends, like the one religious friend I talked to. She says she loves talking to me, and she mentions me to all of her friends, because I'm a good example. Because a lot of people think atheists are bad, you know, like Satan worshippers, baby eaters. So, I mean, like, it was kind of hard at first.
What made you take the decision to actually do it and not just go through high school now without talking?
I really wanted to get involved in the movement, and at a young age, that's a really good time to start.
Were there any other people who came to you in support and said, hey, I was thinking the same thing, but I'm glad that you actually said something? Because I can't think that every single person was thinking that he was okay doing that. Well, based on what you read, I mean, that's incredible, the things that he was getting away with saying. So did anyone come and support you?
Well, see, I wasn't public about it because I wanted my A in that class. I mean, if you listen to the audio, there's a lot of awkward laughing in the class on some of the points he said. So I felt like people were unsure, but they didn't really want to do anything about it either.
Did you get your A?
Yeah.
What about afterwards? Like, I mean, I'm sure people know now that
Yeah.
did anyone come and say anything to you?
I posted it on Facebook, and I don't really get any negative reactions, because I think a lot of my Facebook friends know that I have a lot of atheists on my Facebook, so usually if they say something, they kind of get attacked a little, so no one's really said anything.
Okay.
Did you take any science courses in which evolution or creationism were discussed?
Yes, I took AP Bio last year, and our teacher did talk about evolution, but she did have like a pre-speech and told us that people have different views, so.
Whatever happened to your economics teacher after the letter?
I'm not exactly sure. I just know that he taught the next semester, and he was complaining about it to the students.
That's grounds for a lawsuit, actually.
Yeah.
Let me give you my card.
Anyone else?
We have a few more minutes for questions if anybody has. Any more questions?
Not a question, but your parents should be proud of you.
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Yeah, I think they really are, because I did get scholarships from it, so.
Is it accessible online?
It should be. It was published in the August issue of Free Thought Today, so and they do put them online. I'm just not sure when.